Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here today. As y'all see the thumbnail, y'all read the title under the thumbnail. Yeah, folks, today's video is dealing with the king of Memphis himself. And you already know who I'm talking about, man. It's your folks, Young Dolph, aka Paper Route Frank. Plus all the Paper Route ops who assisted in taking out Paper Route Frank at the cookie shop. Whom is Yo Gotti, his brother Big Jook, they guard dog Blac Youngsta, plus a few Trulla members who didn't agree with the fact that Young Dolph was doing music with some R.I.P affiliates. Now, I informed you guys before that Young Dolph, he was familiar with the beef between Trulla and R.I.P, but he didn't want to make matters worse by choosing sides. So Young Dolph, him being smart and calculated, he chose to record music with both R.I.P and Trulla at the same time, even to the point of having them in the studio around one another. Because Paper Route Frank, he felt he could have these youngsters do something more productive with their time for a profit, then maybe that would decrease the likelihood of these guys going at one another. But as we can all see, it worked for a small period of time. But the reason it didn't last long because, again, some guys mostly affiliated with Trulla, they didn't truly agree with Young Dolph working with they ops, whom is R.I.P. And Big Jook, he seen that. That's where he paid Straight Drop to infiltrate Paper Route. And again, because of Straight Drop and Key Glock's affiliation with Trulla, that made it more easier for Straight Drop to watch Young Dolph for Yo Gotti and his brother Big Jook. But R.I.P seemed to show more loyalty towards Young Dolph and what he was trying to do to help all those youngsters make some legit money in a rap game. That's why today, even after Young Dolph's untimely demise, it's the R.I.P affiliates that's still close with the different Paper Route artists. One of the reasons why even Straight Drop best friend CEO Tizzy got sent up, everybody automatically thought it was either R.I.P or some Paper Route affiliates who was part of that act. But come to find out, none of those guys had anything to do with CEO Tizzy's untimely demise. That was actually the result of the split between Trulla, who on one side, some members still had love for Young Dolph. Because like I was trying to tell you guys before, everybody affiliated with Trulla, they didn't have an issue with Dolph working with their ops, because they was trying to make some legit money with Paper Route Frank. And they were aware that no other older cats cared about them like Young Dolph. Because like we all know, Young Dolph, he wanted everybody around him to win. That's why Young Dolph, he would give those guys chance after chance, because he knew they was young and they will make mistakes. So he didn't want to constantly hold that against them. Because Young Dolph, he always spoke on the fact that he was once in their shoes. And he would want somebody older to look out for him like he doing for them. That's why Young Dolph, he had no problem working with the youngsters. And they knew that. Because Young Dolph, he knew that it would be better to teach the youth than trying to teach one of his peers when they never really cared to listen to him, because they never thought that Young Dolph would be in that position of becoming the CEO of his own label. And dealing with that, they already seen Young Dolph work with D-Money. Plus they also witnessed how Young Dolph put Key Glock in a position to become who he is today, which is one of the top best artists in the rap game. So basically, the ones who wasn't jealous or hating on Young Dolph moves, but paying attention to what Young Dolph was actually doing, are the same ones that we still see winning today. And we can go into Grove Hero, Key Glock, Big Moochie Grape, Kenny Money, Snoop Bands, Paper Route Woo. Again, mostly everybody that's affiliated with Paper Route, they winning. While on the flip side, a lot of those guys who chose to side with Yo Gotti, CMG, we don't really see them out there like that no more. Because again, they either got locked up or they got sent up. Because nobody really paying attention to those guys. Matter of fact, y'all don't even see them hanging out or promote one another like they used to. If y'all was paying attention, the great divide between CMG, Heavy Camp, and Trulla all started when Big Jook close friend Govin got a 90K bond release. And that right there, it threw some folks off. Because you had some guys saying, How is the one who admitted that he orchestrated and paid for young Dolph to get set up? How did he get a 90K bond? Sounds very suspicious, especially for a high-profile case. And y'all gotta understand, Govind, he barely set it up 6 months before he got a bond release. But some folks, they believe that the Alphabet Boys, they did that on purpose to not only watch Govind, but to also follow the money. Then after that, you had straight drop brother Jamarcus, him informing them people about everybody's position on Yo Gotti's chessboard for a lesser time sentence. Cause they was trying to say Jamarcus orchestrated and paid for young Dolph's setup, when we all know that wasn't true. Because Govind or Johnson, they don't have the funds or the resources to pay off them people in the streets and them people on the department like the Scorpion unit to hide the camera footage and all kind of information pertaining to the day of November the 17th when Adolph Thornton Jr. got sent up purchasing desserts from the cookie shop. With that, let's pay our respects and say rest in peace to young Dolph, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in Dolph land. Again, to all my folks in Dolph land, I know y'all missing a real one out there. There's nobody out there really like young Dolph to replace him. And so while y'all at it, go ahead and drop those Dolphs in the comments and show your love and support for Pepper Ralph Frank. Now see, a lot of folks really don't understand the position of someone like Yo Gotti or his brother Big Jook. Again, the ones who are publicly known to have issues with young Dolph for not signing a joint venture deal with CMG and Endless Records. So in order for them to stay off the radar pertaining to who sent up Pepper Ralph Frank, they had to give somebody up. And this is where Trulla steps in. That's why there's a lot of folks in Memphis who feel Yo Gotti brother Big Jook used Trulla as pawns to take the rap for the whole young Dolph setup. And that's what we seeing happen in real time. Let's keep it real. That's the name of the game, especially when you get into the bag, paying off the proper people in position to take out Pepper Ralph Frank. Most of the time, the money will make them fall in line. And that's pertaining to the guys in the streets and the ones up that political ladder. Because we all know there's a bunch of politics involved in young Dolph cookie shop setup. Y'all gotta understand, these people, they felt some type of way watching young Dolph climb to the top. That's why they felt like the best thing to do in order to alleviate the competition was to take out Pepper Ralph Frank. And we can all see, since day one, mostly everybody who got caught up in removing young Dolph are somehow connected to Yo Gotti CMG and Blac Youngsta's heavy camp, allegedly paying different Trulla affiliates to carry out their criminal activity on young Dolph PRE. I told y'all these dudes tried everything in their power to just credit young Dolph's name, but it never worked. It only made young Dolph a more respected artist in the streets and in the rap game, to where now he has a flock of fans yelling his phrase, yeah, yeah. Again, to me, it's just messed up how these older cats use these youngsters to carry out their criminal activity. To me, they could have all been doing something more beneficial for the city of Memphis instead of trying to create a plan to take out Pepper Ralph Frank. Again, somebody who is actually a benefit to their community. That's why I always say, as a people, we gotta do better as far as protecting those who is actually trying to instill some type of self-worth and confidence in these youngsters. Because like I said, it wasn't too many people out there who was doing what young Dolph was doing. And that's the reason why a lot of these youngsters looked up to him. So with that, always be aware and always stay prepared. But hey, we got more in store. As always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.